So why should government care about this report? Because this report identifies trends that are shaping the property industry and are shaping the economy and the country. There's several very interesting property news stories in the report. The report obviously analysed residential, industrial, commercial, agriculture, and it found how different forces were realigning how these sectors stack up. For example, COVID caused the regions to revive in terms of property valuations. Some areas have remained strong, such as the Gold Coast, which performed the best over the past decade. Other areas, such as the New South Wales Southern Highlands, for example, have stagnated in terms of price after things normalised after COVID. So you're seeing a fundamental realignment in how some of these property sectors shake out. And commercial and industrial are interesting too, because industrial had been sort of the Cinderella sector of the property sector. But now the collapse of global supply chains and the growth of e-commerce, companies have been forced to increase inventory levels, which means that demand for warehouses is increased. And this means that industrial has actually outperformed commercial more recently. And going forward with tariffs and potential trade wars and the potential further disruption to supply chains, industrial may well have another surge in growth. This report is different to other property reports in that it compares different asset classes and their performance over a period of time. That can show you diverging trends across the economy, potentially show what might develop next. The challenge for government that this report throws up is how to deal with the trends that the report has unearthed. In terms of residential, I think the overarching points that the report unearthed was A, that there's a massive undersupply of new houses, which is not new. But I think the other thing that surprised me perhaps was just how badly housing affordability had fallen over the past 5 decades. I think what this report identifies the trends going forward that are going to impact on how valuers do their jobs. For example, in the renewables space, valuers are going to play a key role in providing compensation assessments for farmers impacted by the renewables rollout, be that transmission lines or solar or wind projects. And the role played by valuers in that debate is going to be very important. Also, valuers have a key role to play in the agriculture sector. As agriculture changes from being just about farming to being about using your land for multiple sources of income, such as carbon farming or perhaps renewables or a biodiversity project. Valuers will increasingly be asked to determine the best true value of that land, and that could be a change for the industry. Also in commercial, despite some of the movements overseas, I think the ESG movement and the push for commercial buildings to become more energy efficient is going to be maintained because many companies have net zero commitments and they'll want to meet those commitments, and that means that buildings are going to have to change in line with those requirements. Now, valuers are going to be required to assess the value of those buildings and the value of buildings that choose not to change to meet those requirements. And that'll be a challenge going forward for the valuation industry, I would imagine.